Let's take a look at what is happening in the markets, and we start off with the local bourse that seems to have tried to make a turnaround today. Not solid gains considering the red that we had seen for at least the last few weeks, but any buying activity is always welcome. So we are seeing something completely different today. A sea of green over there. The all share up almost 0.75%. We are seeing the resources 10 complex being the carrier of most of those gains, advancing more than 2%. The financial 15 there are also climbing almost 0.7%, and the industrial 25 eking out a gain of more than 0.1%. Let's take a look at what is happening stateside, and over there Wall Street assessing the health of the U.S. economy. Of course, a day after we got the final print for the fourth quarter GDP that was revised down to annualized growth of 3.2%. We did get the personal consumption expenditures price index today. That's the PCE inflation figure, the Fed's preferred gauge of inflation, coming in line with market expectations. So we did have the headline figure there with a rise of 2.4%. Of course, that did come down from the 2.6% that we saw in December. A mixed picture over there, mostly green though, the Dow being the only one there under pressure slightly though. Only 0.6% below that flat line. The tech-heavy Nasdaq being the carrier of the bulk of those gains, advancing almost 0.2%, and the S&P 500 there climbing more than 0.25%. Let's take a look at what is happening with the markets across the Atlantic. And of course, as we're on this inflation topic, we did get German inflation for February easing there to 2.7% from 3.1% that we did see in January. A mixed picture, the CAC 40 being the only bourse in the red, declining more than 0.1%. But in green territory, we do have the DAX climbing 0.6%, and the FTSE 100 there climbing higher by more than 0.33%. Let's take a look at what is happening on the currency scene, and we start off with how the rand is doing against some of the major currencies. Some strength coming through to the rand from yesterday against the dollar at 19 rand 17, against the pound at 24 rand 29, and against the euro at 20 rand 78. Let's check in on how the other currency pairs are doing, starting off with the euro dollar that remains steady at 1.08. Steady also, we do have there the pound dollar at 1.26, and a little bit of strengthening on the yen, now just below 100 and just over 149 against the US dollar. Of course, we had seen it around 151 against that currency over the past few weeks.